Hey, pretty lady, this is Diana Ballard, and welcome to the Mom Training Podcast, where we discuss the skills and strategies to create possibilities in motherhood and make it more fun, efficient, organized, and peaceful. I want you to think about how many different types of parenting advice there is out there. Yeah, can get pretty confusing and hectic, right? Especially with how the internet is filled with suggestions and millions of opinions. I honestly think that mothers were happier before when they didn't have a million people telling them that they're doing something wrong or what they should do. I'm pretty sure mothers survived. They did, and they probably had a good time. And they learned from their mothers around them. They learned from generation to generation of how to take care of children and do these things. So there wasn't as many confusing, conflicting topics. I want to talk to you about something really important. Something I feel that needs to be encouraged a lot more than it does. A mother's ability to receive specific inspiration for her family. We touched on this a little bit on the last podcast. You have the ability to know exactly what is right for your family, your kids, and yourself. We're going to discuss a little bit of this today in hopes that you can have help in the struggles you are in and will experience in the future. It's called the mommy instinct. Mama always knows whether we like it or not. My mom always knew when I was up to something or was struggling. Back then, at some points, it was a little irritating that my mom literally knew everything about me, even if I never told her. But now I'm super grateful that she utilized the gift of mommy inspiration or mommy instinct, for it kept me safe many times, kept me out of a lot of trouble that really could have messed up my future. And even though sometimes I didn't like it, I knew she loved and cared about me. I'll start out by telling a story from my own life recently. I have a 3.5-year-old, and she is wonderful. But we were struggling with listening and obedience. It would be, we're not going to the park, and there she'd go to the park. We're going back home, she'd go to the car. I mean, there was a little period there where it was like, okay, how do we work through this right now? Because there is some definite independence growing here, which I want to help grow, but in a manner that's going to keep her safe and that I don't want to pull my hair out because I'm like, okay, why aren't you listening to me? So I was really trying to figure out, like, what do I need to do differently? I've tried bribing with treats. I've tried threatening, you're going to lose something. Okay, we're not going to watch a movie then. We're not going to go to a friend's house if you don't listen. And I'd ask different people, like, what do you think I should do? And they'd give suggestions, and I'd try it, and it just wouldn't work. And nothing was working, and it was really frustrating. And then one day, I was alone in the kitchen. I was cooking something. Both kids were napping, and it was quiet. And the idea of creating a chore and treat chart came. So I said, well, I've tried everything else. I have nothing else to lose. I'm just going to create a chart. So I drew up a little chart. You can go on my Instagram and you can see what it looks like. I think the picture on the Instagram is of her doing the dishes, but you can see her doing the dishes and then the chart that comes with it. But I created the chart, I drew it up, and when she woke up from her nap, we talked about it, and she just ate it up. So after about a week of having this chart, it had changed everything. She listened, she wanted to help around the house. She could see how her behavior affected her life and had something to look forward to. No, she didn't mark off a square every single time she did something right or good. Like she was nice to somebody, she didn't get a square. She earned them. She earned them by helping with the dishes. She earned them by cleaning up her room, by listening to mommy and daddy really well. And she loved it. She actually potty trained herself with the chart. I was like, oh, praise the Lord. Oh my gosh. This was the best idea in the world. So what I'm getting at here is there are so many opinions around you, but your mommy instinct and your mommy inspiration is going to know which one of those is right and which one of those is going to work. Now, sometimes it's trial and error. Sometimes, I had no idea that chart was going to work. I had no idea. But yeah, it totally works so well for us. And I'm sure you've had stories just like this where you've silently or deliberately said a prayer in your heart. An idea came and it changed everything for you. If you have had those experiences, just a reminder that you can receive specific inspiration of how you can be proactive now in your struggles and needs for your family. And if you don't feel like you've had too many of these experiences, I can promise you that you've had way more than you thought. You may have just not recognized them. For each mother has the gift of inspiration for her family, if she knows it or not. That's why it's such a gift, for we didn't necessarily even ask for it. It just came with the calling of mother, which is pretty cool. So let's talk about that amazing gift that you have, the mother instinct or the mother inspiration, and how to recognize it and utilize it. So here are some kind of ideas. Having a feeling to go check on a child. Getting an idea of why a child is struggling and being able to address it. How to get a child to eat. How to make a child feel loved. You just know something is wrong and you're determined to get to the bottom of it, and you do. How to create a new nap schedule. How to create obedience. Examples like this are things that all of us can experience. All of us can gain inspiration from. Now, I'm not saying that you stay in whatever mindset that you're in and you don't ever branch out to find new information. That is not what I'm saying at all. We need new information all the time. All the time. Kids are always changing. World is always changing. Life is always changing. We should constantly be learning. Constantly be reaching out and saying, okay, how can I adjust? How can I change? How can I build my family the way that I want it to be? And then it's the mommy instinct and inspiration that you know, this is right for my family. I've tried this, this, and this, but this clicks right here. This is exactly what we need. And you can feel peace about that. And when you feel peace about it, awesome. You found it. Because there are so many options, opinions, and opposing views that you have to go inside and utilize your mommy inspiration to know exactly what you need for each specific child and for your family. Each child is different. I mean, to think about how many options there are, it's just insane if you don't go inside and utilize your gift of mommy inspiration. When I was struggling to figure out what to do with my daughter, I did counsel with some people close to me. It wasn't until I sincerely prayed again for what to do that the chart came. I feel that sometimes the answers take a while so we can try other options, come up with the ideas ourselves, and it also gives us little independence. Trying out other ideas also helps us to know when something really clicks. Like when the chart idea came to me, I didn't feel like it was going to be the answer. I just tried it. And bam, our world literally flipped in one nap time. It completely changed. So again, kind of just expanding from last podcast about the higher power. The higher power for me is God. I don't know what it is for you, but God is my higher power. And so we're going to talk about him and his ability to give us what we need, and how tapping into him and trusting you will receive inspiration back is so powerful. So here is a little formula. You ask, you try it out, see how it works, give it some time, and adjust if needed, and follow your mommy instinct. And if you get to the end of that formula and you still don't have the answer, you jump right back up to the top again. You ask, you try it out, you see how it works, you give it some time, and adjust if needed by following your mommy instinct. And trust me, I know that it's like, but I do so much. I mean, like, can't I just get it? Can't you just give it to me? Can't you just give me the answer? Why do I have to struggle even longer? Like, why do I have to put forth this whole effort, go through this whole formula to get this simple answer of a chart? I've been there. It's like, why can't I just get the answer right out? Like, why do I have to go a couple weeks of struggling with something before I get an answer? All I know is there is a purpose for all things, and that struggles are opportunities for us to grow. Opportunities for us to open our eyes and say, okay, where do I need to change something? Is it me that needs to change something? Am I not giving this person enough attention? Do I need to focus on a specific area? Like, what is it that I need? Right? So if I was to get the answer right away, like I haven't gone through all those thought processes. I haven't adjusted other things. I haven't thought about my own self and what I need to do. Get what I'm saying? There are reasons why things take a little while. Just don't give up on getting the answer. And don't give up on receiving the mommy inspiration that you need. And give some things a try. See how they feel. Ponder it again. Go through the formula. Ask, try it out. See how it works. Give it some time. Adjust if needed. And follow your mommy instinct. Run through it again. And keep moving forward. We don't have to do motherhood alone. That is like the biggest relief for me. Yeah, I have a husband that helps out a lot. I have friends. I have support system around me, and I'm sure you do too. But being able to receive specific inspiration that's specifically for me and my family from a higher power that loves me, who knows all, and is all powerful and can move mountains and do anything that needs to happen. I mean, I'm going to lean on that. I'm just going to choose to believe that if one person can receive it, so can I. If one person is loved, then so am I. If he can move mountains for one person, he can move mountains for me. What if you just chose to believe that? Our belief doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be enough. I'm just going to try to believe. Miracles happen. You have the capability of receiving the inspiration that you need as a mom. Don't discount yourself. You can do this, and you don't have to do it alone. Trust your mommy instinct. Look up as you're thinking and pondering and building your plan and move forward. You are absolutely amazing. You've been given everything that you need to become and grow into the most successful mom that you want to be, and how that looks for you, what that means for you. You're here listening to this today because there is something for your life for you to do and create, and that could be just to have a successful family unit. That is beautiful. Create it. Be it. Live it. Thank you so much for joining us today and the wonderful community that we are creating. I would really love to connect with you on Instagram and Facebook at Diana Ballard Live. That's at Diana Ballard, Live. Please share this podcast with other moms. Let's start a movement of helping moms together. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you next week on the Mom Training Podcast.